Hello everyone and welcome back to Rick's Garage. On today's episode we're going to find out if the results from a DIY ceramic kit are actually worth the time and money.
Say hello to the bad side. My emotion is flatline. Hungry demon, what I'm seeing is snack time. When I rush in the grab, I better run from the path line.
Ceramic coatings and other paint protections have been around for a lot of years, but if you're like me, you may not know much about them. As I showed you guys back in episode 38, I've got a bit of experience in paint care, but I am far from what you'd call an expert. In fact, when it comes specifically to ceramic coatings, my experience is absolutely zero. And that's where a company called AvalonKing comes in. They've got a DIY ceramic product called Armorshield IX, and their claim is that even a novice like me can get some amazing results if I follow their instructions. AvalonKing sent me out some of their product to try, but rather than hoard it and use it all on Miss Vicky, I wanted to share with the local car community. I put word out to some local car clubs, and a great guy by the name of Eddie volunteered his brand new 2022 Subaru BRZ to get coated. This daily driver is Eddie's pride and joy, and as you can see, he's already started adding his personal touch to the car. To see some more amazing shots, check out Eddie's Instagram page. With only 8,000 kilometers on the clock, the paint should still be in great shape, making it the perfect time in a car's life to coat. As I mentioned, my ceramic experience is non-existent. So to get some help, I turned to Dale from AvalonKing's support team, and of course, the good old internet. Unsurprisingly, there are a lot of opinions mixed in with facts out there, and that can create some unrealistic expectations about a product. Thankfully, Dale was around to separate the facts from the myths, so let's take a quick look at ceramic coatings most You know, there's nothing worse for the reputation of a product, especially a DIY one, than misunderstanding what it can and can't do. It'll always lead to disappointment and end up being a huge waste of time and money. I think the most widely held misconception is that ceramic coatings prevent stone chips. While something is better protection than nothing, ceramic coatings don't have the thickness or flexibility to resist damage from impacts. The hard shell it creates will do well against light scratches, like from a snow brush or a coin wash, but if you want protection from rocks bouncing around the highway, PPF is definitely the better option. Ceramic is chemical proof is also a popular myth, but realistically the curing process makes it chemical resistant, not chemical proof. Road tar, tree sap, bug guts, and worst of all bird droppings have enough acids and bases to etch even a ceramic coating, so don't think letting that junk sit on your paint for days or even weeks won't have any consequences. And the prize for the most unrealistic expectation is ceramic hides, blemishes, and scratches. Here's the thing. Ceramic coatings are completely transparent and they don't have fillers like waxes do. What you see is what you get. In fact, they might even magnify any issues with the clear coat, so remember that the end result will only be as good as the prep. Armorshield IX's first step is to wash and clay bar the vehicle. Eddie and I tackled that part together and got it knocked out pretty quick. Go check out episode 38 for all the details on how to properly clay bar a car. Next up is polishing the paintwork. This is the first time I'm machine polishing a vehicle, so I'm using a dual action polisher, which is the safest for clear coats, and loaded on the 6-inch hex pad is some Meguiar swirl remover polish. The mild nature of both the machine and polish will make the job take longer, but there'll be no worry of paint damage from inexperienced mistakes. Overall, the polishing process is pretty straightforward, but there's enough info that I'll be making a separate video on the finer points. Once all that hard work is done and the car is prepped, the last step is giving everything a wipe down with an IPA spray. This makes sure to remove any leftover polishing oils and residue. IPA is a necessary step, but be careful. Too much or too strong can certainly foul up the... Okay, now to the good part. After unpacking the box, I'll cover the applicator sponge with one of these suede cloths. AvalonKing includes 3 of them because the ceramic can start to crystallize after a while, so I'll have to keep an eye on the cloth and switch it out every few panels. Armorshield IX gets applied to the cloth liberally and transferred to the vehicle in a linear back and forth pattern. Once the area is covered, I'll repeat the application, working in a direction perpendicular or 90 degrees to the first pass. This is to make sure the entire surface gets covered by the product. For a smooth application, it's important to make sure the cloth is properly saturated. A couple of times I felt some friction or drag between the applicator and the paintwork. That's the sign to look out for to apply some more Armorshield to the cloth. Easy enough so far. Now here's the tricky part. Once the ceramic hits the surface, it starts to tack. Depending on the ambient temperature, after a set time, the remaining product needs to be buffed off. Before I start working on a panel, I've got to decide how much of it I'm going to tackle at one time. I don't want to find myself still applying product to one side when it's time to start buffing off the other. Although the timing is crucial, the good news is that if I take too long, it won't hurt the coating, but it will make the buffing removal more difficult. Visually, you'll know that it's ready when the surface looks kind of streaky and has that rainbow oily look to it. Speaking of difficult, check out the application on these rims. The instructions say that Armorshield is good for most surfaces, so the wheels are getting protected too. It's even safe to apply on top of vinyl, which actually seemed to deepen its color. As a final check, I'm using the brightest light I've got to check for any spots I missed while buffing. They can be a little tough to spot, but I'm looking for dark smudges in the panel's reflection. Once the car gets a final wipe down with a microfiber, let's take a look at the You know, this has been an interesting project. For a first-time experience working with a ceramic product, this has been pretty cool. It went on smoothly and came off as easily as wax. The finished coating even adds some depth and tone to the color of the car. Although the prep was a boatload of work, I think the results speak for themselves. Now, if you want to make your ride shine like this one, here's what you'll be looking at in time and money. Eddie and I were able to get the car washed and clay barred in about 2.5 hours. The polishing took about 5 hours total, and the ceramic process took about 3 hours start to finish. As for what it costs, an Armorshield kit is $70 US online. Eddie's planning on getting his roof and hood vinyl redone, so skipping those panels allowed me to stretch the product far enough to put 2 coats on the paintwork from a single kit. That being said, AvalonKing recommends that you purchase 2 kits for anything bigger than a small car. A pack of microfiber towels is a good idea and will cost you about $20. All the supplies for the IPA wash will run you about 15 bucks. I picked up a used 6-inch polisher for $80, and the pad and polish were both $25 each. Lastly, if you don't already have a clay bar kit, you're looking at another $35 on top. So in the end, is this DIY ceramic kit worth the time and money? I would definitely say yes, but now that you've seen the whole process start to finish, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I want to thank AvalonKing for letting me try out their stuff, and an even bigger thank you to Eddie for trusting me with your new car, and to Red Wolf Media for that awesome B-roll footage. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and if you have, drop me a like, and while you're here, subscribe with notifications so you won't miss the Armorshield giveaway next episode. I'm Rick the Welder, and as always, thank you all very much for watching.